If you are over 60, then what you eat matters more than ever before, and among all the choices on your plate, fish can be either your most powerful ally in longevity or your most blunt enemy, slowly wearing away at your health. Because while fish has long been praised as a miracle food packed with lean protein, heart-protecting omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D and trace minerals essential for strong bones and cognitive sharpness, not every fish is safe for seniors whose bodies are less capable of filtering out toxins, heavy metals, and pollutants. By the time a person reaches their 60s, the liver processes slower, the kidneys filter less efficiently, the brain becomes more vulnerable to oxidative stress, and the immune system reacts differently to environmental exposures, which means that contaminants that a younger person's body might handle without obvious damage can become devastating when someone is older. And this is especially true with mercury, PCBs, and dioxins that accumulate in the flesh of certain species of fish. This is why choosing the right fish isn't just about taste or availability. It's about protecting your brain from dementia, your joints from inflammation, your heart from arrhythmia, and your bones from thinning. So what I'm about to share is not simply culinary advice, but potentially life-saving guidance. The truth is that some of the largest and most impressive fish in the ocean, the ones people may view as prestigious delicacies, are exactly the ones seniors should never touch, because they are apex predators that have spent decades eating smaller fish, concentrating mercury in their tissues until they become toxic time bombs on your dinner plate. Swordfish, for instance, is notorious for containing some of the highest mercury levels recorded. And while a single portion might not harm a young adult, for someone over 60, it can contribute to memory loss, kidney damage, tremors, or even increased risk of cardiovascular events when consumed over time. Shark is another example, less common perhaps in everyday kitchens, but still sold in some seafood restaurants. Like swordfish, it is an apex predator, and its flesh contains staggering concentrations of mercury, making it one of the worst choices for seniors. King mackerel is even more deceptive because many people see the word mackerel and assume all mackerel is healthy. But there is a world of difference between king mackerel, which is loaded with toxins, and Atlantic mackerel, which is generally safe. And for someone over 60, mistaking one for the other can mean swallowing a slow-acting poison that damages health over months and years. Then there is tilefish, especially from the Gulf of Mexico, which is ranked among the very worst for mercury contamination, so dangerous that even pregnant women and children are advised never to eat it. And for seniors, it can accelerate cognitive decline and kidney strain. These four, swordfish, shark, king mackerel, and tilefish, form the core of the never touch list. And eliminating them entirely from your diet after 60 is one of the simplest ways to reduce hidden health risks. But fortunately, the ocean also gives us gifts. Fish that are small, oily, nutrient-dense, and low in contaminants. Fish that not only provide omega-3s, but also protect your bones, joints, brain, and heart. And these should become staples in your diet if you want to age with energy and clarity. Salmon is at the top of this list, especially wild-caught salmon from cold waters, which contains high levels of EPA and DHA. The omega-3 fatty acids linked to reduced risk of heart disease, improved mood, and sharper memory. It also provides vitamin D for bone strength and astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from aging. Sardines may be small and humble, but nutritionally they are giants, loaded with calcium if eaten with the bones, vitamin B12 to protect nerves and blood cells, and virtually free from mercury because they are so low on the food chain. Trout, particularly freshwater rainbow trout, is another excellent choice, offering clean protein and omega-3s without the contaminant burden of larger fish, making it ideal for seniors who want to support brain health and cardiovascular function. And then there is herring, often consumed pickled or smoked in traditional diets across Europe, packed with omega-3s and vitamin D, with anti-inflammatory benefits that help seniors struggling with stiff joints and arthritis. These four, salmon, sardines, trout, and herring, represent the safe and beneficial side of seafood, and including them 2 to 3 times a week can literally transform senior health over time. But how do you ensure you are choosing them correctly at the market? The key is in the details. Wild caught from cold waters is usually better than farmed, unless the farm follows strict standards. Fresh fish should smell clean like the ocean and never fishy. Flesh should bounce back when pressed, and eyes should appear clear. And don't dismiss frozen fish, because flash freezing locks in nutrients and often ensures a cleaner product than fish that has sat on ice for days. Cooking methods matter just as much. Deep frying cancels out health benefits and loads your body with harmful fats, while grilling, steaming, baking, or poaching preserve the delicate omega-3s. If you worry about contaminants, remove the skin and fatty tissue where toxins accumulate. Add seasonings like garlic, dill, turmeric, or olive oil to boost anti-inflammatory power. And remember that variety is your friend. Rotate between salmon, sardines, trout, and herring instead of relying on one type, and avoid eating any fish every single day, because even low-mercury species can cause problems if consumed in excessive amounts. Experts generally recommend 2 servings of fatty fish per week, each about the size of your palm, which is enough to get the omega-3 benefits without risking mercury accumulation. And if you dislike fish altogether, consider fish oil supplements, though they will never provide the same complete nutrition as whole fish. Omega-3s are especially vital after 60, when inflammation, cardiovascular risk, and cognitive decline are all pressing concerns. And numerous studies, from Harvard to the Mayo Clinic, show that seniors with higher omega-3 intake have lower rates of dementia, arthritis, and sudden cardiac death. In Okinawa, Japan, one of the world's famous blue zones where people often live into their 90s and beyond, the traditional diet includes modest amounts of small, oily fish alongside vegetables, soy, and rice. And this balanced intake of clean seafood is believed to play a major role in their longevity. Similarly, in the Mediterranean diet, which has been praised for heart health, small fish like sardines and anchovies are common, while large predator fish are rarely consumed, showing again that cultures with the highest life expectancy choose wisely. For seniors in Western countries, where swordfish or tuna steaks are marketed as luxurious, the cultural habit may actually shorten life instead of extending it. When thinking about fish and aging, one must also confront the myths that surround seafood. Because too often, people assume that if a food is labeled fish, it must automatically be healthy. But this is a dangerous oversimplification that can harm seniors who are trying to do everything right. For example, many assume tuna is always safe, but certain types like albacore or big eye contain much higher mercury levels than light canned tuna. And while a small portion here and there may not matter, for someone over 60 relying heavily on tuna sandwiches or tuna salads several times a week can quietly undermine their cognitive health, leaving them foggy, fatigued, or at higher risk of stroke. This is why awareness is more important than blind tradition. Another common myth is that farmed fish are automatically bad, but in reality the situation is nuanced. While poorly regulated farms may lead to fish with higher levels of contaminants or antibiotics, there are also certified farms in Norway, Canada, and parts of the US that raise salmon and trout under conditions that rival the cleanliness of wild catches. Seniors who are mindful shoppers and who look for eco-certifications or labels like ASC, Aquaculture Stewardship Council, can make informed decisions without cutting themselves off from beneficial foods. And then there are those who say supplements can replace fish entirely. But the truth is that while fish oil capsules provide omega-3s, they lack the protein, selenium, iodine, and vitamin D naturally present in whole fish. And sometimes the supplements themselves are poorly regulated or oxidized, delivering far less benefit than advertised. This is why the best approach for seniors is balance. Eating safe, low mercury fish 2 or 3 times a week, alongside a plant-rich diet that includes leafy greens, beans, nuts, and whole grains, which together create the strongest shield against heart disease, cognitive decline, and frailty. Now, let us imagine a senior who embraces this knowledge. Let's call her Iko, a 67-year-old woman inspired by the Japanese elders who practice daily gentle movements and pair them with clean seafood meals. Instead of grabbing swordfish or king mackerel at the supermarket, she chooses sardines in olive oil, grills salmon with lemon and dill, enjoys pickled herring once a week, and occasionally bakes trout with rosemary. Over the course of months, her doctor notices her cholesterol improving, her blood pressure stabilizing, her memory sharper, and her joints less stiff. This is not fantasy. It is precisely what modern research shows happens when older adults replace toxin-heavy fish with clean, omega-3 rich alternatives. And Aiko is not alone. Thousands of seniors who follow the Mediterranean diet or the Okinawan diet have demonstrated the life-extending, vitality-preserving impact of wise seafood choices. In contrast, imagine Robert, a 72-year-old man who loves dining at upscale restaurants where swordfish and shark steaks are considered delicacies. He eats them twice a week, convinced he is treating himself to healthy seafood. But slowly, his body accumulates mercury. Over time, he begins experiencing tremors in his hands, forgetfulness, fatigue, and an irregular heartbeat. Yet he has no idea that the very fish he thought was helping him is actually harming him. His story reflects a tragic but common reality among seniors who are never warned about the risks of certain fish. This contrast between Eco and Robert shows why information matters. For seniors, food is not just about taste. It is about whether you will live the next decade with vitality or struggle with preventable illness. So when you think of fish after 60, remember the two lists burned into your memory. Swordfish, shark, king mackerel, and tilefish are the silent enemies to avoid, while salmon, sardines, trout, and herring are the trusted allies you should embrace. And it is not just about physical health. These fish choices influence emotional well-being too. Omega-3s are known to reduce depression and anxiety, conditions that often creep up in older age. And studies have shown that seniors who eat more oily fish report higher life satisfaction and lower rates of late-life depression. For brain health, DHA found in salmon and sardines integrates directly into the brain's cell membranes, improving communication between neurons and protecting against memory decline. For the heart, EPA lowers triglycerides and prevents dangerous blood clots. For the bones, vitamin D in herring and salmon boosts calcium absorption, reducing fractures. For the skin, antioxidants slow down wrinkles and dryness. Every bite becomes not just food but medicine, every meal an opportunity to add strength, clarity, and years to your life. And if you think you cannot afford these fish, remember that sardines remain one of the most affordable sources of protein and nutrients available anywhere in the world, often cheaper than red meat or chicken, and canned salmon or frozen trout can stretch across multiple meals. Seniors on fixed incomes need not give up on health. They only need to buy smart. The broader message is this: at 60 and beyond, you must eat with strategy, not habit. The food choices that sustained you in youth may betray you in old age if you do not adapt, because your body has changed, your defenses have shifted, and your needs are different. Fish can either accelerate decline or extend life, and the difference depends entirely on whether you know the secrets. Cultures with high longevity have always known this. Japan, with its sardines and mackerel, the Mediterranean, with its anchovies and herring. Even indigenous coastal communities that thrived on salmon. They intuitively understood that the smaller, cleaner fish provided strength without poison, while the large predators were better left in the sea. Modern science has confirmed their wisdom. So if you are over 6, the message is clear. Do not gamble with swordfish or shark, king mackerel or tilefish, because these are not indulgences, they are threats. Instead, celebrate salmon, sardines, trout, trout, and herring. Cook them with care, savor them with gratitude, and let them fuel your next decade with energy, clarity, and resilience. Because life after sea can be full of adventure, laughter, and discovery, but only if you guard your health with the choices you make at the dinner table. Every bite you take can either feed disease or build vitality, and the power to decide lies in your hands. Choose wisely, and your future self will thank you.